My name is Carrie Olahian, and I am a volunteer for Compass Regional Hospice. I volunteer with patients and I sit with them in the hospice center and also at assisted living facilities in the area. I also volunteer for Compass Kids and am a buddy for Camp New Dawn in the summertime at Camp Pacomath. It's a grief camp for kids and it's amazing. I volunteer for hospice because I want to give back to the organization that gave so much to my family. See, back in fall of 2012, my husband and I had to make the gut-wrenching decision to put our 6-year-old son in hospice care. JJ was born healthy as far as I know, but at 2 months of age he started having seizures and had seizures every day for the rest of his life. The doctors think he had a genetic condition, but they never figured out what it was. In September of 2012, we decided that we wanted to focus on his quality of life and not so much the quantity anymore. You know, in my process of trying to figure out how to do that, I stumbled across hospice, and I always thought hospice was something different, you know, for people who were at the very end of their lives, not for children. And I made the phone call and it changed our lives completely. We started getting weekly nursing visits at home. They took so much off my plate, it was amazing. They had his prescriptions delivered to my house. They evaluated him once a week so that if anything changed, I didn't even have to take him to the pediatrician. They would make a phone call and meds would be changed and, you know, everything would be better. It made my life so much easier, and I could, you know, just focus on him and not all the business of taking care of JJ. We had a grief counselor come out to the house, I think it was about weekly, to deal with the devastation of having a terminally ill child. We also had a social worker that would come out. Everybody was always a phone call away and would show up whenever I needed them. So over the next 8 months, you know, as is in hospice, he started to deteriorate. And in May of 2013, the team convened and suggested that we move into the center. You know, JJ and I spent his entire life on our couch, snuggling, and the last thing I wanted was to take him into a hospital-type environment, and little did I know that was nothing like what the hospice center is. So I decided to trust them because they had never steered us wrong to this point. And on May 3rd, we moved into the center, which was amazing. It was a home away from home. They rearranged the furniture for us, so it felt like our living room. They dealt with our ridiculous amount of visitors that came and went at every hour of the day. They helped me celebrate my last Mother's Day. They helped me make hand and footprints that I treasure. And, you know, when the time started to get towards the end, you know, they gave us privacy when we wanted it and company when we didn't. And when he did pass away, they cried with us, and it was amazing. After he passed away, it didn't end there. They continued to support us, at least for the next year. They checked in with us. We had support groups, bereaved parent support groups, and, you know, weekly visits still with the grief counselor, and phone calls and letters, and, you know, everything that we really needed that we did not know we needed, but they knew. And in looking back, the most amazing thing for me was my husband and I always had to wear a lot of hats taking care of JJ. We had to be his doctor and his nurse and his therapist and his caregiver and his cheerleader and everything else you could possibly imagine. But when we came here, and even at home, hospice was all those things for us. So my husband and I could just focus on being mommy and daddy when JJ really needed it the most. But the gift of being able to keep JJ comfortable for the last 8 months of his life was something for which we'll always be very grateful.